All right, guys, welcome to Team No Boss Lifestyle. Um, if this is your first time in my group, you've come from the world of sales and marketing. All right, I'm going to teach you the game of money. That's what this presentation is all about. Please pay attention to everything I'm going to say, right? It's called $1 billion on a napkin. We're going to put that here so you can understand the difference between trying to work for sales versus transactions and how much more money you can make, okay? One of the things I want you to also understand is that success it doesn't happen by chance. And when you start moving towards a particular goal, you're already successful, right? The outcome determines on if you're going to stay on that path or you're going to quit. That's the reason why 90% of the people never reach their true accomplishments, because we just think that in order to become successful, we have to achieve the result, when the success starts with the journey. You understand what I'm saying? You just gotta stay disciplined and get yourself there, okay? Now, inside this group, this presentation, you're gonna watch this presentation. We're gonna give you a lot of information here. It's gonna unlock your brain so you can understand what freedom looks like. The second thing is that the masterclass only runs a certain amount of times during the week inside the group. And that time frame is dependent upon how many people we get onboarded and registered for the things that we have going on. So whenever you see the masterclass get ready to start, that's your time to get in. Once you come through the masterclass, you're going to leave this group and you're going to be catapulted into one of our other groups, all right? And when you're in there, that's where we give you all of the inside access information, all right? So this is pretty much the holding cell for everyone that's thinking about putting $100,000 in your account before you ever need to make a sale. For everybody who's thinking about building great credit, building good personal business credit and personal credit, so that you won't have to worry about funds anymore. So this is what this group is about. Without further delay, let's go ahead and jump into it. $1 billion on the net. All right, so write the word start here, because this is where everybody starts. All right, everyone starts out as an entrepreneur, right? And so what does this mean? As an entrepreneur, this simply means that when I first get started online, one thing I want everybody to know about me, right? When I start talking about this stuff, I'm telling it from my perspective, from exactly the path that I walk in order to get where I am today, right? My goal is not to solve other people's problems like gurus tell you to. Why would I go out here scouring the world for other people's problems to solve when I have about 1 million of my own that I can just actively talk about and solve, while others watch me do that, right? And I'm pretty sure that 90% of my problems is right in line with the people who watch me, who listen to me, because that's what I attract. I attract like-minded people. So my problems become your problems become my problems, and vice versa. But I never go out seeking your problems. I only tell you what problems I have and how I'm going to solve them, and then I walk you through the path. So whenever you're thinking about your business and as a beginner and what should I do and how should I, start and all these types of things, think about your own problems. The first problem that I had when I got on the internet was traffic. I didn't know how to get people coming to me and looking at my stuff. The second problem that I had was understanding that traffic is just that. That's it. It's only people coming and looking at your stuff, right? When a person get there, that's a whole nother system, a whole nother process that I had to see clearly in my mind, right? So in hindsight, the way you start as an entrepreneur is by actively doing something. Proactively getting yourself out there and actually doing it, but to drive I lost my thought. That's what happens when you lose your train of thought. I was talking about problems, right? So when as an entrepreneur, instead of trying to go out there and see what help you can render or what service you can offer to the world, right? You're going to kill yourself. You're going to really make yourself stressed out trying to figure out what you should become in order to become successful, right? In order to have financial dependence, right? So I didn't do that. All I said was I didn't know how to get traffic. So this is what I did. I went on YouTube. Hey, I've been having this main problem called traffic. It's a major issue in my business and I don't know how to solve it, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to solve this problem. If you like what you see and you like to walk my journey, definitely rock out, okay? And once I solve it, then I'll offer you the solution, and that's how we're going to rock. And so I'll go online and I'll start solving the problem. When I figured out, wow, traffic is pretty much everywhere. And I started getting all these, putting all these traffic scenarios together. getting traffic, helping people get traffic, then guess what happened? People started buying that traffic stuff from you. You see what I'm saying? That's just one example, but understand you don't have to go out and try to find problems. You got enough of your own to solve as an entrepreneur. Okay, so that's where you start. You start there. You start with your own problem. Right? That's where you started. Okay. All right. Now we're gonna shift gears because normally when somebody gives you this information, then they want to take you down this long road of how to about a problem. Right? A problem is a problem. Problem. It's a problem. That's it. A problem. Right? I don't know how to read. Take a reading course. Now you can read. Now it's solved. Right? So don't worry about that. Don't put too much problem in that because you're gonna always have problems, which means there's always gonna be enough people that you can help, which means there's always gonna be enough people on the table, money on the table, right? But the important part is that as an entrepreneur, what we start to do, right? We start to, wow, great information. Great information, oh my goodness. I can't get enough of this stuff. I can't get enough of it, right? Wow, great information. Oh my goodness, I can't get enough of it, right? Great information. This is what happens. And guess what? That's our process. We keep learning, and we keep learning, and we keep learning, and we keep learning, learning. And then we start to become with this little word represent. We become overwhelmed. You see what I'm saying? And when you get overwhelmed, that means that you got a lot of information in your head. You know, all this stuff, but you still don't have a starting ground. You still don't have a starting point. Okay. And so as an entrepreneur, you feel overwhelmed. And then you start to think that this is bad. You start to think that the feeling of being overwhelmed is a bad feeling to have when it's not. Okay. So let me give you an example of why it's not a bad feeling. There's a book, and if you guys hold on, forget that. There's a book, right? It's called A Technique for Producing Ideas. That's what it's called. Let's see if I can find it for you. All right. It's a book called, it's James Webb Young. Y'all seen the cover, just switch for us. A Technique for Producing Ideas, a simple 5-step formula anyone can use to be more creative in business and in life, okay? And so that's a great read. I read that book every single year. This is the beginning of the year, so I'm going to read that book just to make sure that I got it all in here. What happens, right? When you become to feel overwhelmed, that means that your conscious brain has been collecting all of this information. You've been putting it all in there. Once it's in there, and you have it here, right? And then you fall asleep. Never wake up like at 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 3:30 in the morning, 2 o'clock in the middle of the night with an idea, and then you have to write it down. Okay, but what's happening is that you're right. Let me show you what's happening. Right, you have your this is your mind, right? This is your subconscious mind. Okay, now your mind holds everything. Your mind holds all your thoughts. It holds all your worries, all your activities, the things you need to do, your habits, your fears. It holds everything right here in your mind, right there, top of mind. All right. And so whenever something happens to you, right, then your mind actually have to recall the reaction in order to give it off. All right. So just keep it simple. Then you have your subconscious mind. All right. And so your subconscious mind is like a storeroom. A storeroom with all these workers in it. And every time your mind give it information, it takes it and it just stores it, right? And so if your mind read a subject on cooking, right, how to cook Thanksgiving dinner, right, then you can read the entire book. And then once you consume the knowledge, all that information is transferred right into your subconscious mind. And an entire year can go past. You won't think about that book at all until the week of Thanksgiving. And then guess what happens? Your mind will say, hey, I need that book. And then your subconscious mind say, got it. All right, then you cook Thanksgiving dinner, right? And that's how it works out. And so just understand that when you start feeling overwhelmed, go to sleep. what's going to happen, all the stuff that you put in your head is going to go right into your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind going to catch it. And you're going to say, all right, let's put this stuff away. And then when you ask your subconscious mind and call it, hey, I need that, they take it off the shelf and hurl it towards your throat, towards your brain, right? I love action heroes and comics and all that good stuff, but they hurl it. Wow, you get it? Got it. And that's where you can use the information. So anytime you're feeling overwhelmed as an entrepreneur, this is a great start. That means that you are not afraid to step out of your comfort zone. That's what stepping out of your comfort zone means. Step out of your comfort zone, get all the information and keep getting it, keep getting it. We are built for this stuff. Like this is the way that our designer created us, right? To handle the capacity of information in here. It's a sophisticated device up here. You just have to understand how to utilize it, right? And so when you grab the stuff in your mind from everything you learn, you put it in your subconscious mind. You go to sleep. And when you go to sleep, your subconscious mind is going to help you organize the information. All right. So that's the first thing you do. Now, the mistake that we make as beginner entrepreneurs, stuck entrepreneurs, people that's at a plateau, is that we don't have a plan of action. Right. And if we do have a plan of action, we don't have a goal to achieve. Okay. And so in order to take all of these things and have it work for you as an entrepreneur, you have to have a plan of action. Okay. Now you're not going to as a beginner, you are not going to know what you want to do until you start making some money and you start doing some things. And you don't ever learn how to do these things at that stage. You learn what those things are at this stage, but how to do them effectively, you will never learn it here. You're learning it thinking you are, but you never learn it here, right? And so you need a plan of action and you need a goal to achieve, right? So my plan of action is to open up an internet marketing school. I didn't know how that was going to happen, right? And I thought I was going to really literally own a building and a college and all of these things when I was like 8 years old and thinking about this stuff. And then in reality, right, I'm just a guy online helping, a couple states, people in a couple states, in a few states, learn how to operate business on a professional level. You see what I'm saying? In turn, that's a school because we're nationwide, we're global. It's just virtual. It's not exactly how I envisioned it in my head, but the goal to achieve was the school. The plan of action was to understand the process on how it is to get there. So, right. So my goal was to achieve a learning environment, and my plan of action was to understand what a learning environment entails, how it looks, what it represents. Are there different types of learning environments? How many learning environments is there positive? I mean, you got LMS modules, you got all types of things, right? And so my goal was to learn which one of those ways that I want to do it, and then how can I achieve it? Put together a plan of action, use the knowledge, put it into my subconscious mind, and trust my subconscious mind. Now, what controls your subconscious mind? You don't. Okay, that's what controls your subconscious mind, and won't ever steer you wrong. Trust me, right? So you give it to your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind tell you what you do in the morning. You do that, and then you go on and rock off. Okay. Now, when you're studying mentors like me, like my partner said, like my whole NBL business crew, then we're going to show you information like this that move you to the correct right stage. Okay. So your next stage in this whole I'm gonna do this. BO. What do you think BO stands for? Business owner. Okay, that's what it stands for. It stands for business owner. All right. What do you think E stands for? E stands for entrepreneur. Right. Business owner. Okay. All right. So as a business owner, I'm probably only like 20 minutes in. As a business owner, right? What's a business owner? First off, explain to me what a business owner is. I'll wait. A business owner, right? You would think is someone who owns a business. That's what you would think. Someone who actually owns a business, or someone who owns a brick and mortar, or mom and pop, or own an internet marketing firm, an agency, something like that. You would think that's a business owner. Well, in hindsight, that means everyone's a business owner that decides to start a business online or receive payments from somebody, right? That's wrong, okay? when you're thinking about business owners, right? The first shift that must be made in your mind when you're thinking about becoming independent as a person on this planet who's self-made and can create income cash flow for themselves, right? And their family and predictable, have it consistent, all that good stuff. The first thing that you want to do is that you want to draw a separation line and understand that this is not a game. Okay? There's two games you can play out here. You can go out there and you can play the sales and marketing game all day long, right? With no idea on what type of business you want to run, with no idea on how to become a real true business owner, with none of those things. You keep playing in this world, what they call self-help, right? Called self-help, feeling overwhelmed. You can keep playing in that world of self-help, feeling overwhelmed, right? Trying to figure it out on your own, buying course after course after course, product after product after product, and all you're doing is continuing your rotation of putting a lot of bull crap in your mind, sending it to your subconscious, and your subconscious is giving it to you in the morning. But you're doing this without a plan of action, which means you don't have a goal to achieve, and you don't have a plan of action on how to get there and how to achieve that goal, even if you don't know all of the steps. Okay, a plan of action is not action steps. It's two different things, guys. We got to get out of this hypnotic world of nothingness and understand that terminology means real things, right? And so you got to have this separation. You got to have the separation and understand that there's a guru world, right? And then there's the real world, okay? There's the guru world and then there's the real world. So a business owner in the guru world is that anyone on the planet Earth can be rich, right? That's the business. That's the guru's world. In the real world, it says you need all the info before you get there. Right? So the gurus say anyone can be rich. You just got to find the successful secret and the key. And then you find in all these patterns like webinars and events and, free books and ebooks and courses and trainings. You're looking for all the information in order to get there. The real world says you'll need all of the information before you can be rich. That's it. If you don't have the information, that means what? Exactly. We're on the same page. You understand? So in order for you to get where you're going, you have to understand which road are you trying to take. Are you trying to take this road, or you're trying to take the real world road, the world of real business, right? Someone like you owns Walmart. They just put stuff that business owners put in place before they start calling themselves a business owner, right? It's professional things that you must have set up in order to be considered a business owner in the eyes of the people who matters. And who are those people that matter? It's people like Dun & Bradstreet. These are the people that gives you a credit rating from the DMV. They give you a credit rating, which means that if you go into a bank or you go open up a merchant account, right, then you won't get shut down. But we, as entrepreneurs, read a book, say get PayPal, go open PayPal using Gmail, and then next week, you done put all these payments in your account, and now PayPal holding $30,000 of your money, and you don't know why are they holding it? You've been calling them, you're doing all these things, right? Or you open up your first Stripe account, and as soon as you're about to take your payment, your Stripe account just got shut down, right? Or you open up your Facebook ads account, right? And as soon as you're about to place an ad, you place the ad, and the next thing you know, you are shut down on your ad account. Why are these things occurring to you? Because you don't understand what a professional business owner looks like, and the knowledge that he has in here, which is all of the information, so that those things will not happen to you. It's impossible to have those things happen to you if you follow certain steps. You understand what I'm saying? So that's the difference, right? You have to understand the difference between being a real business owner, right, or someone who's just saying I'm a business owner, right? So what is the difference, right? So one thing is that a business owner, a true business owner, well, let me say it like this. We're not going to talk about the business owner, because if I talk about that, then you're not going to understand why you ain't flowing into the stage the right way. All right. So as an entrepreneur, right? As an entrepreneur comes into this world, right? After they read all this book, put all this information and consumed all the knowledge they can, they got a healthy working understanding. of how to create a value ladder, of how to put the product together, an offering, creation, whatever the case may be. You may be an affiliate marketer. All I know is that you have something to sell. You have a product, right? And this is it. This is your product. Okay? And with this product, you go out here and you try to make sales. Okay? Now, as an entrepreneur, right? We want to leave that up there. As an entrepreneur, when you go out here and try to make sales, let's say you made $1 million worth of sales, right? First year in business as an entrepreneur. All right? We're going to put the business owner up here as well. All right? And the business owner also has a product to sell. In his first year in business, did very well. And he also made $1 million in business. Okay? Now, this entrepreneur say, you know what? We need $1 million in business. We're going to put 500K in ads, right? And then we're going to see, and then next year they did $2 million in business. All right? This business owner say, you know what? We're going to do, we made $1 million in business. We're going to invest this whole $1 million, right, into one of our secret accounts. Okay. And that 1 million instantly turned into 7 million in 7 days. Okay. What's the difference between this person and that person? Okay. The difference is simple, guys. The difference is real simple. This person, right, took $500,000 of his hard-earned money and he put this behind an ad campaign, which brought in another $1.5 million in sales. So in turn, he additionally made another $2 million. Y'all see what I'm saying? So in turn, he additionally made the $500,000 back, and he made another $100,000. So he made $1 million in sales, and then he kept his original money. So his second year, he was also able to double his income. Okay. So what did this guy do as a professional business owner to not only double his income in 7 days, but quadruple, even, you know, y'all see the number, in 7 days versus one whole year? What did he do? Well, let's talk about his timeline of things. And I'm gonna put it right here. I'm gonna erase it, okay? We're gonna talk about his timeline of things. And we're gonna talk about this with another color, right? So his timeline of things was such and such, right? We're gonna talk about the entrepreneur timeline of things so that y'all can see the difference, okay? Entrepreneur timeline of things, right? One, he had an idea. That's not how you doing. Question. Or comments and ideas. So for one, right, we have an idea. So the idea then led to, right, some resources. Okay, and this may be in the form of books, whatever the case may be, CDs, whatever. Those books, CDs led to some more resources, right? Which may have been video ads, and it could have been campaigns, it could have been webinars, it could have been whatever the case may be. And that led to him having to spend dollars to get training from a mentor. You see what I'm saying? And now he's traveling down this rabbit hole of a circus, trying to discover the secret of success, when all he had to do was take this stuff that he learned here, you know, say, okay, I want to be for me, like I said, I wanted to open up an internet marketing school. So I learned that I don't need to open up a school like Harvard or Princeton, right? I can just I can get my name and I can make that an accredited learning center for entrepreneurs everywhere, just like we're doing right now. You see what I'm saying? And then took that information and did some other things with it. Let's see what the business owner did with that information, okay? So as a business owner, he started the same way, right? He started the same way. With an idea, okay? Right? That idea then turned into a plan of action. You see? So the idea turned into a plan of action. Whereas this idea turned into a resource. How do I do the idea? See, I didn't have the idea of how do I do the idea. I said, what is my plan of action? Well, the plan of action, the end point is that I have, and I'm very clear on my thing, I have 100 students, all 50 states, paying me for something that I know. That's the bottom line. Okay? And then my action plan was, what's my plan of action? Learn something to teach. Okay, so I learned something to teach first. Okay, so wow, great. So how do I know what I want to teach? I based it on my own problems. I said, what problems do I have? I don't know how to get traffic. So I started to learn how to get traffic. I learned how to get traffic. And then guess what? I learned something new every day. And I went out there and I talked to it about others, teaching them what I've learned. And so that's how the following starts. You see what I'm saying? And so I learned something new every day. And that's what I did. All right. And then this is where the business owner paused for a second. Right? This is where you notice this. All right. So this is where the business owner pause, and this is where the entrepreneur make the mistake. And I call it a mistake because this is not the first. I would not spend the first thing I would spend my money on is not a training course from a mentor or coaching program or any of those things. I wouldn't do that. Right. And if it's a coach or a mentor and you're a beginner telling you to buy a program and they got all these sophisticated things in there, without this stuff that I'm about to tell you how to do next, you've been buying from the wrong people because they really don't want you to succeed. They're just looking at you as a number in their value ladder. Okay. And so in this scenario, the entrepreneur went so far to understand all this knowledge and resources, but he was not going on based on a plan of action. He was going based on an idea. You understand what I'm saying? So he may have seen an idea. Oh, I want to start my own ad agency. And then he came across some resources on how to start your own ad agency, which means he read a self-help book on how to start an ad agency that some guru wrote. And that guru said, also, go watch this video. He went to watch the free videos. And then the guru said, give me some money. He got him some money. And then he said, I'll be your mentor. And then I'll help you start your agency. Does that work or not? Well, it all depends on the person. It all depends on if that person has this information back here or not. If they have it, they're going to be good. If they don't, remember the scenario? In order to become successful, you must have all of the information. If you don't have it, the guru ain't going to teach it to you. You just don't have it. You're missing it. So you're the percentage that do not succeed. How many people is missing this information that I'm about to tell you? Well, let's find out. See if you know it. And then that's where you can tell yourself, I knew this. That's one thing. Did you do this? Is it showing up in your life now? If not, that's why you have such a hard time making money, right? So what do? Right? So you learned something, and instead of him paying a mentor or guru, he said, you know what? I need to go ahead and start a professional LLC. Right? But what a professional LLC give you? Well, for one, it's going to give you a low risk score with D and B. All right? The low risk score with D and B. So if you were this person and you opened up your PayPal account with the professional LLC, PayPal won't shut you down because as soon as they run your check through the system, they'll see everything green. They'll see all your lined up. They'll see everything lights turns on. And this is not just an LLC. It's a low risk LLC. Okay? Because if you got your LLC and you use your home address, you're high risk. You're going to get shut down. If you got your LLC, you didn't use a business email, you're high risk. You're going to get shut down. You got your LLC, you didn't use like all these little intricate things that you need to use. You're going to get shut down. You're going to be high risk, and this won't work for you. Okay, but as a business owner, they understand that in order to become a professional business owner, you have to have a professional low risk LLC registered in the Dun & Bradstreet Business Credit Bureau. Once you get that, guess what that happens? That's what that do. That activates funding. It just activates funding, right? Which means that when this business owner versus this entrepreneur, same scenario, right? And there's just one secret source, one secret account that I'm talking about. This professional business owner, he said, you know what? I made $1 million in my first year as a business owner. So let me see if my secret accounts and my professional knowledge, if it really works. And you know what happens? With this $1 million made, he took it to one of his secret accounts, he took it to a credit union. Just a credit union. John Hopkins Credit Union, Navy Federal Credit Union, right? Any of those credit unions would do. He took $1 million to the credit union. He said, hey, I'm going to put my $1 million in this credit union, right? And open up a line of credit, okay? And so he took $1 million to the credit union. He said, I need to open up a line of credit. The credit union said, great, we'll use your $1 million for collateral, just in case. Run back, you're going to lose your $1 million, right? And they say, okay, cool. Well, how much is the line of credit going to give you? Well, because you got $1 million, we'll max it. We'll give you 9 times what you got. We'll give you 7 times what you had. So we give you $7 million back, available in 7 days. Yeah, you see that? You see that? $7 million back in 7 days. What's the difference? This dude was focused on sales. This man focused. His plan of action, his goal to achieve, was focused on making one good transaction. I'll get the difference. So the difference between the reason you've been failing and not being as successful as you can be is because you've been spending a lot of time focusing on sales, selling a product, versus trying to maximize your transactions. Okay, and this is just one transaction of many. Just like the self-help and the guru game has a wealth of abundant knowledge. That's what the money game has as well, a wealth of abundant knowledge. Okay, and so that's what my masterclass is all about. How do you put $1 billion in play? Well, you do that from these 2 steps. Okay, 2 more steps. Now, the first step is simple. Right? So you went from entrepreneur to business owner, right? To business professional. Okay, now you got business professional. So you got to go from business owner, which means you understand how to get your low risk LLCs. You can do things with money that you've never been able to do before. So as a business professional, right? Not only did you get your low risk LLCs, so you got your low risk LLCs, right? Low risk LLCs, right? You got perfect FICO, you got perfect PAYDEX, right? PAYDEX is what they call your business credit score. You got perfect PAYDEX, right? You have money working for you, right? The 7 mil, got that in the bank, money working for you, right? And it's just one transaction. Like you can open these up with as many business credit card accounts, starter funded accounts. You get as much free money as you want when you understand business on a professional level. Okay, you're going to have assets and generational wealth, right? All types of things coming down the line. All right, we can talk about that. You'll see all that in the masterclass, exactly what it provides. But this is what business professionals, this is what a business professional has. And when you understand, when you have all these things in place, money working for you without making sales, right? You have all this stuff in place, then as a business professional, then you understand the world of transactions, right? You understand the world of transactions, right? And understanding the world of transactions, let me see how we're looking. All right. About an hour. And understanding the world of transactions as a business professional, guess what else happens, right? You understand artificial intelligence, right? Artificial intelligence campaigns. All right, now in the world of self-help and guru, they teach you that you need to have funnels. They teach you that you need to have capture pages, right? Autoresponders, right? They teach you all these things from lead magnets to everything in between. They teach you these things, right? So pretty much these are all devices that you need in order to connect your systems in place. But did you know, as a business professional, we don't use any of these things. I mean, we use them to our advantage as a tool if we needed to. But in hindsight, right, this is called programs, like software. All right, that's called software programs. Okay, it's called software. With software, it's just like your computer. If you turn on your computer and you don't have Windows or you don't have an iOS operating system, right? then guess what? You can't use any of the Windows softwares. You can't use Microsoft Word. You can't use Keynote because it won't open up unless you understand some deeper stuff that will allow you to open it from your hard drive, from your what they call it, from the whatever it's called. I can't remember, from the black screen on the computer, right? So, and I'm a computer programmer. I can't even remember the screen that's called. Whatever the case may be, you can't open your terminal from your terminal screen, right? You can't open it. I mean, you can learn how to figure it out how to open it up from your terminal. But if you can't do that, you're not going to be able to get your programs up and running. This is essentially how you treat programs like funnel software, lead capture page software, autoresponder software, messaging software. It's how you treat all of those things like a software program. You've been trying to use software programs, but one thing's been missing. And we talk about all the information. Well, what's the one thing that's been missing? You don't have a complete biz operating system. Okay, you don't have a complete business operating system. And when you don't have a complete business operating system, yes, you're using all of these things, but you're working towards yourself because these it's impossible unless you put another tool and another tool for these tools to communicate with each other. But when you use a complete business operating system, now you have the power of artificial intelligence working to your advantage. Because if a person comes into your business operating system, right, it don't make a difference. It came from a funnel, a capture page, an autoresponder, an email, whatever the case may be. They're coming into the same operating system. And then your machine, your actual operating system, can see who that person is. And when it sees who that person is, it can instant, I mean, not even instant, like faster than we can ever imagine, go through his entire life of what you've done in order for me to match you up with something else that may be in my database. Okay, let me give you a prime example, right? And this is how you put $1 billion on the napkin right here. All right, this is a prime example. It's called artificial intelligence, right? Coupled with business intelligence, BI. All right, coupled with what is called machine learning. All right, so if you're using the right business systems, right, you understand your plan of action, you understand what goal you're trying to achieve, you understand that you're not trying to focus on sales, you're more focused on transactions, even though when you make sales, now you know how to do with your sales money, you know how to do what transactions can do for that money that you've never been able to do just working in sales and profit. Y'all get what I'm saying? Like you'll be able to do way more with your knowledge than if you were just to focus on marketing and sales, right? Now you should understand that. You understand business on a professional level. You understand artificial intelligence, business intelligence, machine learning, right? I didn't write that up there, right? You got a complete business operating system. You're not just using you're not just using tools anymore. Then you can put $1 billion in play. All right. So how do you do that? I'll just give you one example on how machine learning, artificial intelligence can play a part to your advantage. Let's say you're this marketer and you got this product, right? And this product was a billboard. All right, you sell ad space on this billboard, right? So under this billboard, right, there's a highway right here. All right, there's a highway. Cars drive down this highway every single day, all the time. They drive down the highway, okay? If I'm selling ad space to this billboard, how is it possible for me to measure how many cars come down this road if I'm trying to sell space to that billboard? You see what I'm saying? That's where artificial intelligence and business intelligence and machine learning come into play, okay? Now, in our business, we have a lot of resources, right? When I say you go through the timeline and you get your resources together and you throw it into your subconscious mind, and then when you think about it, you say, hey, I need that. Your subconscious mind hurl it, wow, and you get it. But one of those resources was understanding traffic. Remember I said I studied traffic, right? And I understand in traffic, in the world of traffic, me as a business professional, understanding the resources that I read, using my subconscious mind to recall this information. When it's time for me to sell my billboard, I'll know that there is AT&T, there's Verizon, there's Sprint, and whoever else is up here, right? And all of these people have these big, long cell phone towers. Am I right? They got cell phone towers. And so every car that drives down this road is not these towers picking up these cars. Okay? And if these people are on social media, right, inside these cars that's driving down this road, and the towers picks up this person. Now, I know that if AT&T, Verizon, or Sprint have any databases where they are selling the customer's info, right, which they are, because if you go to nextmark.com, you go to infousa.com, these are two companies that keep tracks of companies like this who sell clients information. So when a marketer like me need a list, hey, can I get a list of all the people who ride down Route 1 past X on and how much traffic is being, taken down to there? Well, cool. That there's people that, ride down this road who are Verizon customers. Right? So would not these customers benefit from this billboard if one of those customers owned a business? Now, if this billboard ran me $6,000 a month because it just happened to be in Orlando, Florida, right next to Universal Studios, and I got one sale from this billboard, is that not a $6,000 per month revenue, just understanding machine learning, artificial intelligence, and all this good stuff? Because I knew that these towers picked up this traffic, and I knew that because it's machines learning. I know about that, right? So I knew to contact Nextmark and ask for a list of these customers because I know that they had it. If I didn't know all the information, I wouldn't have knew to ask for that. I wouldn't have knew how to find it. I'd still be struggling, trying to figure out how to get people to buy this billboard. When my complete business operating system did it for me, okay? Now, if you're doing this, sales is like one person clapping in the room. Transactions, just imagine an entire orchestra of people clapping in the room. That's how much money you can make, all right? And just to leave you with one more example, in week 3, we're going to be walking, no, I'm sorry, not week 3, week 4, we're going to be walking my team through one of my best transactions ever, okay? Because we get on marketing, but we get on the internet and we have our products and we have our services. We're trying to sell our things, right? We're trying to do all of this stuff for the economy, for the world. And when we have a good product to sell, then we say, man, I even need to hire a copywriter, or I need to hire a digital ad agency, or I need to hire, someone who's going to package my things up and ship them and all these types of things. And then we find ourselves kicking out all of this money in order to get our product into the hands of the consumers. All right, well, what if you can own the company that you need to help? What if you can own the ad agency that you need help with? What if you can own the shipping department, the people who package, the printing shop? All right, well, in my company, we own a marketing firm. It's called Admin. And in my marketing firm, we help business owners get listed on Google and things like that. We do all that type of stuff, right? I have a bunch of stuff going on, right, outside of masterclass. But the reason I'm telling you this is because instead of me trying to onboard a packaging company and tell them to put my stuff in boxes and ship them to my clients, we're going to go ahead and purchase our own packaging company, right? Hire the management systems, put all that in place, okay? And then guess what happens next? We bring them on board, and that's one transaction. So if this packing company, let's just say, had 6,000 customers, all paying them a monthly retainer of, $200, $300, $400, $1,000 a month, when we purchase it, that money then becomes our money the very next day. So if he was receiving $100,000 in sales for the month, based on everything that he does for his printing company or packaging company for his clients, and we bought that company from under him, that $100,000 the very next day then becomes my $100,000. And all I have to do is hire the team to run the company. You see what I'm saying? And when you know where to hire teams to run companies that you buy, then it becomes real easy. And so these are the things that you're going to be experiencing inside the masterclass. We're teaching you about money and transactions versus product and sales. Does that make sense, guys? I'm Larry Wills. If you like what you see, you want more of this, thank you for watching the $1 Billion on an Active presentation. Click the link. It's going to catapult you either to the masterclass or to the beginning of our process. Either way, I'll see you on the inside. Peace.